Hello, Riven mains and Yasuo mains alike. I'm the Nightwing, coming at you guys with another League of Legends video. Now, there's been some decent news going on in the League of Legends community, mostly off-season news, and I'll be doing I think a G2 related video coming up very, very soon before the summer split starts. And I think me and JTH and a couple buddies are going to be going to the LCS very soon. So obviously, we're gonna have a lot of fun with that. It's gonna be a good time hanging out with the bros and stuff like that. So we're gonna be getting our groove on, drinking, having a good time. Watching some LCS. Probably get some girls. No, that's not gonna happen. But hey, it's just me, right? So, obviously on my social medias, I'll be posting that I'll be with the teams and stuff like that. Just a lot of fun given in those days. So there's been some League of Legends offseason news, and this one is kind of polarizing because there have been some things happening with SK Gaming. Now, SK Gaming was a team going into this LEC spring split I thought was going to be unbelievably dead last. Like, yeah, I thought they would have been, in my opinion, they should have been fighting for 9th during the spring split when I first saw their team. But after seeing their team perform, I was like, bottom playoff material, and it really did show toward the end of the split. Like, okay, so in layman's terms, what I'm going to say is teams like them who aren't predicted to do well, when they do start doing well, they initially come out very, very strong. But then as the weeks come by, you start to see a little bit of cracks in their gameplay. And then you start to think like, wait a minute, that's why they were predicted to be not a playoff team. But they later on beat Schalke in a tiebreaker game and end up going to the playoffs. Now, we haven't heard anything out of them, and now they're making some off-season moves within their own academy team and their own main roster. Because SK Gaming Prime made it to the semi-final? No, they made it to the finals of the EU Master Scenes, where they face Misfits Prime, and Misfits Prime won, I'm pretty sure. So, SK Gaming promotes Scar, or is it Saker? Sakari? I don't know how to pronounce that at all. I'm super sorry. Saker to the LEC squad, sends Werlyb to the academy team. Alright. So, but that's interesting, because I haven't really seen their top laner perform that much, in my own personal opinion. In preparation for the upcoming 2019 summer split, SK Gaming has made a roster change in the top lane by promoting Sakari, I'll just call him Sakari to the starting lineup. This means that Werlyb will be playing for SK's academy team next season. With his performances in spring and at EU Masters, Sakari earned himself the chance to compete for a spot in our main roster, said Renee Spainer, the general manager of SK's League of Legends team. We are very proud that one of our prime members has already developed into a player with LEC potential, and we are sure more will follow. And this is their whole tweet right here. I'll actually leave this tweet in the description box below, because I'm pretty sure the rest of these paragraphs explain more anyway. Last split, SK Gaming had a relatively successful performance for a team that made up a number of rookies. They ended up finishing in 6th place with a 99 record, reaching playoffs in their first season back in the LEC. That's actually pretty good. So a returning org that got relegated a while ago, they got relegated by G2. Isn't that crazy? And then G2 later on went to go win the summer split. It's weird. It's just crazy. Behind the play of budding star self-made, SK Gaming surprised many teams with their strong team fighting and playstyle, but a lack of postseason experience hurt them as they fell to splice in 4 games. Sakari has helped SK Gaming's academy team win a couple of tournaments and might have impressed the organization during that time. Going up against the best top laners in the region will be his true test to see if he's a fit to stay in the LEC. The LEC summer split will begin June 7th. I can't wait to see my boys G2 back in full force. So that's Sakari being promoted to the main roster, while Werlyb is demoted to the academy team. Now, just off this alone, Werlyb has put on a pretty average performance, all things considered. Obviously, they want to, be more than just a playoff team. They want to challenge for top 4 potentially, and maybe go to Worlds, because they did get some World points, I'd imagine, from finishing in playoffs. Well, I don't know how the new LEC format works with world points, but I'd imagine that they did. But I don't think he's been terrible, but maybe because, like I said before, I haven't seen a lot of Sakura perform a lot, so I don't know. So he might be really good, but I've only seen a little bit from that EU Master scene that they were streaming all along on YouTube. I had seen a little bit of it, and you have some other things going on. Let me see if I can find some more stuff for you guys right here, because so there are some decent news, all things considered. All right, so we have that. Let Me retires from competitive league. Let's see. RNG Let Me retires from competitive league. They said he retired at the end of last year, but I guess it wasn't really official. RNG's Let Me has retired from Professional League of Legends, the organization announced today. The Chinese top laner considered retiring at the beginning of 2018 due to his poor form, but he inevitably chose to stay with the team. Let Me took a temporary break last December and shortly returned, but 5 months later, he's retiring for good. And this is their official tweet. We are sad to announce that Let Me has decided to retire, RNG said. Through last year may not be perfect. You've done great and proved yourself time after time. Let Me had standout performances throughout his career, including competing at the 2018 World Championship and making multiple LPL finals. He never won a domestic title, though losing convincingly to Team WE in the spring 2017 and EDG in the summer. Despite this, he was highly regarded as a player and famed for his ability to turn top lane matchups in his favor, even when the odds were against him. Now this is going to be really, really interesting, because they say he never won a domestic title, but wait, Let Me won a title. Let Me won 2 titles. Let Me won in 2018, and Let Me did win in 2018. What I think they got a little bit of their post wrong, because Let Me was on the team that beat IG in spring 2018 and the team that beat IG in the 2018 summer finals. And he won MSI. He has titles. I think that's kind of disrespectful that they say he never won anything, yet he literally won. You can go and look it up. He won MSI and he won 2 splits. I guarantee you he did. I mean, kind of disrespectful in that aspect, but, you know, whatever. And despite this, he was highly regarded as a player, and he was famed for his ability to turn top lane matchups in his favor, even when the odds were against him. And then they are picking up some new people. Roster announcement. We are excited to welcome 2 new faces to our big family. Zhao Ao, former Snake Gaming top laner, and Big Juicy Round Steak, former Flash Wolves and Rogue Warrior coach. They will be a strong sword and shield as we embark 2019 #LPL Summer Split. So Steak, I remember being on Rogue Warriors as a coach. I remember him coaching and being on Flash Wolves for a very, very long time. He moved to the LPL the same time that Karsa did, and he's found some relatively decent success. But RNG, he's looking to make that big move and to promise all of their fans, hopefully, that they can make a bigger run than they did, because they got knocked out in playoffs by JD Gaming. That's something that they definitely don't want happening again. And Zhao Ao, me and JTH have talked about that. He's not per se like bad, but he's nothing really special either. Maybe that's because he was on Snake Gaming, and it's like, only their jungler looks anything decent at this point. So, and if I have advice for their jungler, I would be like, hey, you need to go to a better team. But nonetheless, Zhao Ao is going to be their new top laner. But that means that Zatai and Amazing J, what happens to them? Because Amazing J was really, really not good this split, and Zatai was not good this split either. So it's finally nice that they're making a big move to stay with a stable top laner. Zhao Ao, former top laner, will be replacing Let Me, while Steak, formerly of Flash Wolves and Rogue Warriors, will be joining RNG as a coach. Suning had a relatively poor performance in the 2019 LPL Spring Split, but Zhao Ao... Oh, was it Suning Gaming? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was Suning. I'm super sorry about that. But Zhao Ao was one of the team's standout performers. It's unclear if he'll take the starting position on the roster, but he'll likely be competing with Amazing J and Zatai Hao for a spot. Okay, sorry about that. That's Suning Gaming. Okay, I had their Confusing Flandre with Shaw. I was like, what the heck? But nonetheless, they're still changing out some players, and Let Me is retiring officially. Okay, and there's Rift Rivals, and then there's a bunch of that. We'll talk about that a little bit later on, and I'll actually talk about that in general in a separate video about Perks giving that Rift Rivals talk, and that kind of discussion is for a later video. And then you have Selfmade. He reacts to the comments on his on Werlyb's demotion to the Academy team. After SK Gaming made the decision to drop Werlyb down to its Academy team, the top laner explained the situation and his thoughts on his stream. His former teammate Selfmade had plenty to say about his comments though. Werlyb said that although he wasn't happy about the decision to move him to the Academy team, he was sad about how the rest of his teammates treated him. He claims, this is what Selfmade said, he claims that the rest of the roster didn't want to spend time with him and excluded him from social gatherings. Selfmade on Twitter, this is what he said. It's normal in teams to replace players or give Academy substitute a chance if he's performing well. There was zero personal things taken into this decision, and it was all based by performance and statistics. Also, he wasn't forced to play in Academy. In response, Selfmade posted 4 tweets saying that the decision wasn't due to personal reasons and that the team simply wanted results. He also mentioned that Werlyb wasn't forced to play in the Academy League. He added that he was never really Werlyb's friend, even back when the majority of SK Gaming's roster was playing for Mad Lions, as their previous roster was Mad Lions in the EU Master scene, and they had won an EU Master title. I only spent time with Nemesis or Crowny unless we all went somewhere together, Selfmade said. The talented jungler directly addressed some of the Spanish fans who were angry about Werlyb's demotion. He said that because they weren't any personal issues involved, the team didn't need to defend him. I'm not going to answer to any of Spaniard's comments since I don't really give a F about your opinion, but you really need to think a bit before saying anything in private messages. It's clear that there is a bit of tension in the SK Gaming camp, especially after Werlyb's comments on his stream. Zachary will be joining the team for the 2019 summer split, where he will try to help elevate SK to another playoff run. So yeah, obviously things are looking kind of interesting in SK's team at the moment, because you're kind of living with the guy that you demoted, and he goes on social media, talks about his whole demotion situation, and then you have the jungler of the team, the star player of the team, talking about it, and then you have people battling, and his fans, and then you have the team's fans, and it's just a big mess at the moment. So for right now, for them to help the situation out, it is better to promote Zachary, so that way you can kind of have some breathing room, because it happens with people. Sometimes you have arguments, sometimes you need some breathing room, and that's better for a lot of people to have that. And maybe when all the dust is settled, and maybe when SK is kind of in a panic mode, and maybe they want to make playoffs and they're not doing so well in the summer split, this is just a hypothetical, maybe they can have a heart-to-heart out and talk about it properly. But he's saying that there was zero personal things taken into this decision, and it was all based on by performance and statistics. I mean, statistics can matter in esports, but what I argue about statistics is that you really got to understand it. It's more about what you actually see in gameplay. Yeah, stats matter to a certain extent, but seeing actual gameplay is the big deciding thing on when you should bench somebody. That's what I'm going to say. So I'll see you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, joy. Thank you guys for watching. I'm the Nightwing signing out. Inside for Nerds. Peace out. Bye. Have a great day. And I'll be having those other videos out for you at a much later time. And I will be doing them very, very good.